Hello everyone. Let's continue Class 11, second chapter, Methods of Inquiry in Psychology. In previous chapter, we have studied that psychologists study behavior, mental processes and experience in different contexts. But have you ever thought how the methods of psychology work? Through this video, we like to understand the methods of inquiry and their goals. Description is about explaining the phenomena. We answer what we have seen, what we have observed. Describing the same exactly, and if there are any difference, we will be in narrating style, we will be explaining it. The second goal of psychological inquiry is prediction, where we attempt to understand the relation between behavior as we describe the types of behavior. More the number of persons we observe, more we are able to better forecast and predict the outcome. The third goal focuses on the factor that causes or not cause that behavior. It tries to identify determinants of behavior or the antecedents. Antecedents are the precursors of behavior that triggers particular actions. It tries to establish cause and effect relation among two variables. When we try to change the antecedent conditions to control the behavior by increasing, decreasing or removing it, we can able to explain why the behavior occur. Psychological research studies are conducted and they bring solutions to the real life problems and help in finding the positive solution to make our life better. Scientific researches are conducted on the account of objectivity and in systematic manner. Objectivity means unbiased, something errorless. For example, 2 plus 3 is always 5. Systematic is the stepwise process or well ordered planned method. Conceptualizing a problem means defining a problem. We discover a problem and try to find tentative solution to it, that means formation of hypothesis. As hypothesis is ready, we are about to investigate our data whether it is significant or not. For this we have to consider the entire study. On depending upon nature of the study, the researcher has to decide who will be his participants. He will be considering observation method, experimental method, correlation method or a case study. Also, specific tools regarding interview schedule, forced choice questionnaire or just open-ended questionnaire he is using. The collected data is analyzed using graphical interpretations. Finally, the research is revised and concluded for the future researchers. Unlike other sciences, psychology has alternative paradigm of just not looking at the overt behavior but also considering personal feelings, experiences and meanings to life. As because one feeling and attachment to particular event gives the interpretation. It is not just limited to feelings or expressions but also self-reflection. Data. Data is the any information. Data comes from the Latin word datum. It is the information related to individual in overt, that is visible, or covert or hidden behavior. It could be any age, frequency or number of times some happening or event, or it could be anything that will give us an inference or some kind of meaning we could attach to the data. Here are some ways in which we could collect data. Number one, demographic information. It gives information related to person name, age, gender, the residence, family income, his occupation. Physical information includes the ecology or the environment in which a person lives. Physiological data includes the physique, the body, how the body reacts in particular environment. For example, the reaction time, blood oxygen levels, duration of sleep, blood pressure, and heart rate. Psychological information includes related to behavior and mental processes. For example, the intelligence, creativity, perception, illusions or hallucination. Any kind of subjective experiences will be studied under psychological information. Here are some list of powerful research methods. A careful observation of particular event or a person helps us in understanding a particular behavior. This understanding of a particular behavior gives us a choice to select that behavior for further study. Then we record that selected behavior in great details. Later, the analysis on the same is done. Observing the phenomena in natural setting comes under naturalistic observation. Studying particular event or behavior in some controlled condition is the laboratory observation. The observation method can be labor intensive and time consuming too. It could be research oriented in participation or non-participation. When a researcher establishes a rapport and have some degree of involvement with the group is known as participant observation. When a researcher install a video camera or record the group behavior, then it's called non-participant observation. In order to understand cause-effect relationship between the two sets of variables, experimental method is used. Independent variable is manipulated and dependent variable brings out the effect. Experimental groups may include control group, which is used as a baseline or a comparison group. The selection of participant is done randomly. Some extraneous variables need to be controlled in the experiment in order to bring about the cause-effect study. These variables can also be categorized as organismic variables, where person's anxiety may vary. The environmental or situational variable can work, for example, distractions, noise. Sequential variable may be experimental fatigue or may be practice effect. Repeated practice of the same thing can increase or decrease the speed. In order to control the variables, we can minimize or eliminate them. In order to overcome sequential variable, we can divide the task in two parts. In order to generalize our research, we can conduct experiments in field or quasi-experimental study. Field experiments are done in the natural settings and quasi-experiments are done when further no manipulation can be possible. Correlation research gives the strength and direction between the variables. It can be valued from -1 to +1. Also, it can have a positive correlation, that means both the variables increase or decrease simultaneously. Otherwise, we can have a negative correlation among which one increases and other decrease or vice versa. Sometimes there could be no correlation among the variables, so it's known as zero correlation. Survey research is a method to find out facts or to study opinions. It could be done by attending the personal interviews, questionnaires, telephonic surveys, or under controlled observations. Interviews can be classified as structured, that means the questions are scheduled in a particular sequence. It could be forced choice or open-ended question. Some questionnaire can be yes-no types, MCQ type or rating scales. Nowadays, people are getting aware and they want to assess about their personalities and their interest. So, in multiple contexts, psychological tests are conducted in standardized and objective manner. Reliability means consistency of the scores obtained in different occasions. It could be administered by test-retest method or dividing the test into two equal halves known as split half reliability. Validity is the degree of the test what it intends to measure. Construct validity is the appropriateness of the test. Criterion connects whether the sub areas are involved in the test. Content is the composition of the test. Norms are developed to study and compare the average performance among different age groups. We calculate their standard scores and get the percentiles. Depending upon language, verbal tests are used. Non-verbal test includes symbol or pictures. Movement based or ordering based are done under performance test. Based on number of participants, it can be classified as individual or group test. Based on difficulty level, speed and power tests are classified. Speed test will have limited time with order of difficulty be same. In power test, the degree of difficulty will be increasing and no time limit is given. Case study use multiple strategies in order to get detailed description of events of one's life. Analysis of data is done using quantitative and qualitative methods. The responses from the participants are collected, calculated, and analyzed on statistical means. Sometimes the data is not available in the score format. So the content analysis is done. That's why quantitative and qualitative methods are complementary to each other. Still, there are some limitations on their application. No person in this world has zero intelligence, so it lacks true 0 point. The test applicable on rural setting can't be applied on urban setting. The subjective interpretation or moving to the generalizability may be the common bias. While conducting a research, some ethical principles to be kept in mind. The participation of the people for the studies should be by will. There should be informed consent to be taken from the participants. There should be respect for their privacy, protection from any harm, and debriefing be done. That means they must leave the study as in the same phase that they arrived in the study. That is it for today and see you in the next. Thank you.